So I'm here on Donkey Well Farm. It is very, very windy and very cold. I can tell why they need a shelter belt. But here it is. It's huge. Goes on all behind these trees as well. Let's have a little look. It's 1,440 trees, give or take. And there are a bunch of them. It goes all the way along here and all the way down to those trees at the end of the field. I've just taken a photograph of every single one of them, and that took a while. So these are all pretty close together. I think that looks a little funny, but this is basically called an optimum shelter belt. So optimum shelter belts, instead of having a hedgerow like this over here, where it's just a single line of shrubs, you put shrubs on either side, and then you have a few rows of trees in the middle. And so you're going to have big trees on the middle, and then kind of hawthorn and blackthorn and hazel on the outside, and together they can provide a wind barrier, and it really needs it here. We're up on top of the Cotswolds, so it's just all wind. And what that does is it forces the wind up over the top of the trees, which will grow nice and tall. There's some pine in the middle as well, which will give it a bit of effect all year round. And it protects the fields, which can help with soil erosion, and it helps with, it actually improves the yield of the crops, because the field will have essentially a microclimate and it'll be warmer from lack of wind, and so there'll actually be more crops coming from the field, even though a little bit of the space is being used up. And of course all these trees are going to soak up CO2, they're going to provide a home for all sorts of wildlife. There'll be squirrels running around, birds, all sorts of shrews. And there's wild cherry and crabapple in there as well, so they'll have something to eat. And apparently having a bunch of birds near the farm, there's some here already, but more birds will eat more of the pests that can affect certain crops. So that actually means less pesticide required. It is a big old pile of win-win. This pile of trees just keeps on going forever. Long field. But now that I'm done taking photographs of all of these, I'm going to cycle back to Swindon. Hopefully the farmers will let me have a cup of tea first, because I can't feel my fingers. But yeah, I'm going to cycle to Swindon, head back to Bath, and then tomorrow I'm going to go check out Sam's farm, because we finally got the paperwork through. We can finally start planning the planting of 1,500 trees there as well. And those will be not a shelter belt like this. They'll be spaced out a little more, because that will be a forest formation, which I'm very excited about.